what we will do is that we will try to bring some context, because that is the best that a panel has experienced that this can hope for. Digital is a continuous journey, and digital transformation has again become more continuous. Like they say, continuous improvement is part of an enterprise's life today, because the moment you stop improving, they say you will have to keep running to stay at the same place. So as all of us in various leadership positions as decision makers go through the digital transformation, is my privilege to welcome all of you to this power-packed discussion, where we will try to provide some amount of punch into otherwise staid, routine, boring, ubiquitous kind of a presentation, where everybody speaks about AI, everybody speaks about ML, everybody speaks about fintech, everybody speaks about innovation, in a way that is, yes, hygienic, but that doesn't put any context. To my mind, because I have been leading this space, I am from business, I didn't have any technology background, but at a time when Indian banking and financial sector was struggling because of many things happening together, platformization was happening, cloud migration was happening, API and service layer was happening. So as digital transformation was pervasive, from being a CIO or a CDO stock and was coming to the real life of the consumers, we learned that at the policy making level, at the technology level, as well as at the business level, we must speak in unison. There must be one voice. And I define digital transformation as something where you must make a clean break from the past, like a caterpillar and a butterfly. Yes, the butterfly has come out of the caterpillar, but very hard to relate the features of the butterfly with that of a caterpillar. Organizations are making those quantum shifts, and as all of us know, the four pillars of these is the SMAC: social media, mobility, analytics, and cloud. And as these four interact with the four pillars of enterprise, namely people, process, technology, and governance, there are interesting insights that all of us are waiting to be unfolded, unleashed, and learnt. Even today, after leading very large organization, for example, in State Bank of India, I was spending every year close to 7,000 crores, and I had some 25,000 people. But when I went to HSBC, I was in for a surprise. I was meeting the HSBC CDO, who told, Mr. Mahapatra, how many people do you have? I told, I have 20,000. So he told, oh, that is too less. We have 174,000 total staff, out of which 74,000 are in IT or IT related things. In other words, digital transformation beginning is where organizations are becoming IT companies by foundationally changing their DNA of people, process, technology, and governance. So we are in for some good time. And as we unfold some of the things in this limited time, I welcome all my co-panelists. And what we will do is that we will have one round in which each of the panelists will give their overview of what is in their rich experience digital transformation journey has been. What they are seeing as writings on the wall, what has worked, what has not worked. All of you are again people of experience, people who have wetted their hands to get the wisdom. So me and my fellow panelists have no ambition to teach any gyan to any one of you. We will share our experience. And in digital transformation, one thing is for sure, that it is a journey of co-traveling, co-learning, enjoying the journey as much as we try to lead, we try to direct, we try to instruct. So with this, we will start with you, Aiskant, that
Sure.
each one of you in a fashion will come back and please give your definition and in what you want to share regarding your.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mahabatra. I echo what he says on this side. This is a journey kind of thing, and there is no one single individual's responsibilities. What I see in my experience, what you did on this side, it is always hard to push what you did and what you deliver, right? One part we feel very proud that we have designed something and we have created something, but the adoption is not happening. There is no meaning to that one. So there I see it's a journey, and each function or each individuals in the part of that is very key to this one. Starting from who is thinking about and strategical thinking what I should do it, and who's the end user. Then the journey ends over there, and still we keep kind of renovating what is happening and learn from the mistakes or the experience what we are doing, what we could do better. If you are not doing and you stop someday that this has been done, that chapter is over, then next day you feel that I am totally backward. So nobody in that space, somebody has overtaken you. In my experience, what I say always that people think about digitization is not earlier what we talk about computerization. Year 2000 something we say everything is now become computerized. So digitization is not that same thing, right? It's the mindset change what you are doing. What sir is just explained that you transform from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Total mindset ecosystem has to change for that one. And very good part on this side, the experiencing part. What is the experience coming out? Now if you talk about, I'll give a little kind of example on this side, what you do on this side. Earlier you used to date the banking because I just explained the banking, I'm coming from the banking industry on this side. Earlier people used to go to bank to deposit checks, withdraw cash and all these things happening, right? Now same things happening. But what he is doing? So customer is doing himself. Various means, by doing ATMs, you talk about digital banking, all these things happens. So two things happens, it's given an experience and sometimes give you a confidence, this is what I'm holding. Decreasing the load on the kind of a branch banking and all these things, people should do something else. The branches are not stopped, right? So they are doing something else now. So don't think that mindset that if a digitization happens, somebody will not be able to do something. So keep yourself improvising so that you come to the next level. And servicing and experiencing is the next thing what I see the digital platform or digitization going to help us to do that one.
Good. Essentially your take is that customer journeys are only becoming guided journeys rather than bank dispensed journeys.
Right.
Customers have made up their mind. Good. Ashok?
Yeah, thanks Mr. Mahapatra, thanks everyone. Basically, I have seen in my entire experience earlier NBFCs used to be focusing on main core application digitalization or key processes like credit underwriting, operations and collections were mainly digitalized, and at that juncture the applications were not integrated fully. Many times these processes were in silos. Over a period of time now what we are seeing is that entire application, all applications, key processes are digitized. Right from like earlier we used to do digital underwriting, I mean only digitization, but the underwriting was manual. Now in NBFC it is purely credit scorecard based underwriting is happening. Even collections where if you see the process, the classification and allocation of basis customer behavior or the agency performance, there are AI/ML models which have been built in industry as well as in our company, which helps us to easily classify the contract and the customer behavior and allocate it to the correct person. Similarly, I have seen earlier like asset monitoring or legal, those data used to be completely offline. I mean it used to happen on Excels or mails, but with government initiatives, we have seen lot of legal data getting digitalized. So now, while onboarding the customer itself, we can identify whether he is having any legal case against him. Similarly, for asset monitoring, etc., we can get lot of data for the existing customers like construction finance. Those are, you can say, non-individual customers data from various legal sites, as well as we can identify their civil track record, etc. So that helps us to completely, identify the customer while onboarding or underwriting him better. So this helps. Apart from that, what the other panelists said, we are also having the complete, like, collections has been digitalized. Earlier it used to be physical, collection slip used to be given to the customer, or the receipt used to be issued to the customer. Now it is completely digitalized, and this data also gets posted real time via payment gateways, as well as via mobile mCollect kind of an app in our organization. So that helps to, reduce the operational workload, as well as bring the data integrity across the platform. And the other aspects with respect to, like, earlier we used to be mainly on the on-prem, now we have completely moved on cloud. 95% of our IT infra is on cloud. Many of the applications which were earlier mainly on basically were outdated, we have been moving into upgrading those applications to make them API enabled, so that integration can happen across platforms. The entire data is digitalized, and so that we can apply AI/ML models on that, improve our processes, policies, and decision making. And with thanks to our management, there is also a lot of emphasis on digitalization, which helps us to basically grow business and support business better. So this is what my journey says, Mr. Mahapatra. So,
good. Thank you. I think what you told was that all parts of the organizations have been touched in a big way or a small way through digitization. It is a question of a mixture of what is the maturity that is happening, and we are probably living in a hybrid world so far. Yeah, Anil?
So I'll just talk about my journey as part of the digital transformation and digitization. So when I started in the technology field, we started something called automation with systems in the mainframes. And over a time, we started calling that as a legacy systems, and then started building out from the mainframe and build up a system which is very highly coupled architecture and solution to perform better. Okay. And so that was a time from till 2000, 2005, where we started transforming out of mainframe. So that was a legacy transformation out and building out something kind of open stack, C, C++, Java, .NET and all. Okay. And those transformation helped the organization to build to a certain level. Okay. And then suddenly we started calling that as a legacy because we wanted to get into more scale, and technology as evolving, keep on evolving, so we getting into the API economy and tries to start building a more modular architecture, a microservice based model. So last 8 to 10 years has been in the API economy, where we keep on building systems which can scale to address the customer demands, scale to handle different business operations, scales to integrations. So that has been. Now, if you look at last 3 to 4 years, things are still changing. We are getting into AI/MLs, we are getting into blockchain, we are getting into various other things on IoT devices. And recently, if you look at things are even scaling out in the chatbot, ChatGPT, and things like that keep on happening. So, but these are the transformations are part of our journey, okay, and it keep on happening. Today we have at one technology level, but tomorrow we may end up in rebuilding most of the solutions or softwares which we have built up, because things are changing and dynamics are changing. So my take is that it is a journey and we have to take it on as we go along, and still we have to plan for the futures.
Good, Anil. Again, your take is different but quite refreshing. What you are telling is that miniaturization, connectedness, and probably internal modifications or transformations as we do external transformation. These are defining digital transformation. Siva?
Hey, thanks for this question. Hello everyone. The reason we are physically present, but some of us are digitally present in the mobile itself says how stronger the digital communication has taken up. It has become so much personalized, so much customized. So we are hooked to it and we are seeing it. I mean, it's more of a pull factor. It has already turned. So with that phrase, I wanted to say 4 tangents of the digital. Like how Mahapatra said, process, product, services. I'll start with communication. We've already seen the communication. The people know, the respective companies, apps know how to cater to you, in which mode you would be comfortable, for what kind of message you'll turn your head up. They know it, and that's how the digital communication. Second layer of looking at it is from the products perspective. So products, now even in the fintech, I take the NBFC also as an example. There are instant loans as a product which has come purely digital, which has come out. There are some loans which are getting transformed. We have gold loans at FedFina, which has turned into doorstep gold loans as well. So there's good amount of digital involvement in this from the product perspective. Second, the third layer of approach which I wanted to give after communication and product is process. So process orientation, earlier there are a lot of papers which are moving from this desk to that desk, departments, internal between departments, but now we have seen a lot of it being automized. There's RPA in picture, wherever there is no manual intervention is not needed. Otherwise there are systems made. Approvals also has been imbibed with HRMS APIs. So that's how we build some of the systems in our internal company as well, like ERM and legal modules and all, where there are multiple departments working in a digital process-oriented approach. For the process-oriented approach, I also want to bring to your attention that organizational blessing is also needed. Because traditionally people have seen with lot of their experience, they have keen to and comfortable in doing a process in a standard approach. Now doing something in a different approach is a resistance in altogether. So organization has to be open to that. It is exactly like a youngster in the family wanted to, who is earning maybe same or as much higher than his dad, who has 20 years of experience saying something. That's the kind of situation gets formed in the company, but that has to be seen with a positive approach. And the last one is services. Like the other gentleman said, there is the customer services are being accessed via portals. There's website, app, and there's social media. All those are there, and they have become now need more than the luxury. So that's how I see digital from 4 times.
No, good, thank you. I think your take is that people's ability to reach technology and the technology's ability to reach people, both have worked towards doing it. I'll come to you, Aiskant. See, these new kids in the block, which we call startups, we call fintechs. Every day they are pushing the bar. They are asking the incumbents to redefine themselves. They are unleashing what is called, what incumbents called semi-baked kind of products. But customers are loving it. It is all free, and it is the pleasure of experimentation is there. What do you think are the main success factors for the fintechs and startups to do this kind of fun in the digital transformation space?
I have a great regards towards the fintech, what they are doing on this side. So I'll say one thing this comes up, they don't have any legacy or the backend something, and that is not carry over. All are kind of fresh thinkers, fresh minds, and coming out. Similarly, the ecosystem partnership with kind of financial organization, could be NBFC, banks, and fintechs is the way forward, what I see on that way. Why I say so? Because the banks and NBFC has their legacy and they know what is the core to their business, but what they're lacking out to reaching out the customers and the experience, what fintechs brings the value. Recent example I'll just say so people can correlate on this side. When we walk on this side, now you see everywhere coming out credit card, UPI available, right? So people can pay through UPI using credit cards. Earlier what was there, you have to link your bank account or a debit card so that your bank account, so whenever you go, you scan any QR code and pay, so your bank account get debited and it's gone. So now recently with NPCI, we have also launched in the fast mover for that. So given that UPI on CC, that's very buzz in the market people are talking about. But we have the core system, we have a UPI switch, we know what is the UPI happens, how the transaction happens. But what the fintechs has helped on this side, I'm talking to few of the fintech players who are the leading on this side, they create the experience. Traditional way, we ask to register your UPI ID by giving this card number, date of birth, and all these things. The seamless experience what fintech builds on this side, put your mobile number, they search it, and they say this is OTP registration, 1 second, over, everything is done. And next 1 second, you do a transaction and go. And the transaction is so seamless, now people have, I think people have now slowly forgotten to bring their wallet in this kind of thing, kind of concept. I'm talking about the physical wallet. Everything is now mobile, because you have everything on this mobile. So that is because of the fintech world, what is happening on this side. And this is one just example what I say. In any cases, anywhere you go, starting from railway ticket booking, starting from BST bus searches, like whenever you stand, you know how long this BST will happen. Forget about the Ola, Uber bookings, that is already passed for me now. So what I'm seeking at what people are looking and how they are doing that one. Now fintech has given one more example people might have experienced. No need to carry a boarding pass, no need to printing a boarding pass. You have using a kind of smartwatch, you can have the mapping on the side, get the QR done, and all the airports has been now equipped. So Digi Yatra is supporting that one. So the moment you go and just put this watch, no security checks required, you just pass. As you say, they are welcoming on the red carpet. So that's what happening. Again, this is fintech, what they are doing kind of thing. All you talk about is having fintech on this side. Second part, what I'm saying now, this is what happening. Now, I always see there is always a merit. People are thinking how the fintech is facilitating. Is the experience, what do you bring to the table? And down the line, 4 to 5 years, what I see, people might have heard about the metaverse. How many of you heard about metaverse? Just to know. Yes. There, if you see, the adoption is happening. Facebook in 2021, given the name as Meta. You have heard that one? One WhatsApp, Facebook coming out Meta. So they are already starting transformation from themselves. So they're thinking ahead what is going to be happening in the next 4 to 5 years. But if you see the customer base or the people who are in the metaverse world, is the young generation people, right? You say 10 to 18 years people are the highest consumer of those platforms. So they are going to be your financially savvy. After 4 to 5 years, they start earnings, and they are your targets customers going to be to use any of the products, not talking about the banking, financial, nothing, any products. So that's people are behaving, and now people are seeing that experience, right? So digital platform like Amazon, everything, you give a product. So now if you see every product is available now 3D, you see this angle, that angle, and try to do, and now the next step is to experience. What is that product about before buying? What do you get in the real world by walking to a store or doing something in the classroom or whatever? So that people are trying to do on the digital world. So that's what, again, the fintechs going to do that. But the back end is always who are traditionally on that business that they know, and regulatory compliance, everything they take care. So always I see there is always a combination going to work, and fintech is going to play a very critical role on this digital transformation journey because of the value and the experience what they bring. So that's what I say.
Thank you. Ashok, see, when I was building Yono, for example, so that time, looking at all the global practices and the best practices, McKinsey was advising me, and IBM was building it for me. And that time we learned that the power of individualization is supreme. Gone are the days even when we were talking of customization for a group. It is the power of one. But now again I am watching that most of the people are trying to bring products, and products which are omnibus, which are one size fits all, is considered to be away from the idea of digital transformation. What is your take?
Yeah, very true, Mr. Mahapatra. Currently, even in our NBFC journeys, what we are experiencing that basis product and segmentation of the customers, we are dividing new products processes. Many times our journeys, like online journeys for customers, has been digitized basis what customer will have in that segment. Like we will actually, if we are getting any lead from any of the channel partners, we will be able to give him real-time, links wherein the customer can do his entire KYC as well as other digital data entry himself, it can get validated by various API aggregators which are available in the market. So one has to choose what is suitable for the organization and who are the market leaders in this API space, and choose those vendors while defining your journey. And then this entire whatever customer gives his Aadhaar card, his banking, via account aggregator, or there are various service providers in the market who can actually read your bank statements as well as GST as well as ITR details, completely digitize that and push it to your underwriting platform real time, and then you can actually give him a decision real time. If it is a small ticket loan, then we can run our AI/ML models. We can give credit underwriting decision, and the case can be auto approved from system. Similarly, on the other side, collections can be other case. We are also seeing a lot of earlier these operations team used to be completely CRM was there from previous days, but there was no digitization. Like a customer calls the call center and then the ticket used to be given, and then the service used to be happening after 3-4 hours or within a day as a TAT. But nowadays the TAT is reduced to some hours, wherein once the ticket is actually logged into system, the bot reads the ticket and bot himself either downloads the SOA, or customer himself can get it on WhatsApp via bot, which is pushing the interest statement or any SOA what he needs. So the TAT has got really reduced, and at the same time the digitization, data integrity has improvised. So it also helps us to satisfy that customer, and also help us to retain and cross-sell. Also, if you see earlier, the cross-sell or upsell used to be happening by taking data individually from core applications and then doing it separately from marketing or CRM platforms. But nowadays it is completely digitalized, wherein the AI/ML model itself suggests these are the prospective customer for these kind of schemes. You can run those schemes on the marketing platforms with customer experience, and then start their journeys again to offer them specific other loan. Like home loan customer, you want to give him any small ticket personal loan or digital quick cash. So this is how the entire universe is completely digitalizing end to end. So I personally feel we should choose. There are many vendors in the market. We should choose them. There is not, those days are not now gone, wherein everything used to be happening within a single platform, because that used to create monopoly. Nowadays we are going towards microservices and also using API aggregators from the market. Whoever can give us those services, use them and use it for your business to actually acquire or retain customer and enhance customer satisfaction. This is what my
good. So what you are essentially telling is that people who were thinking that one size fits all, that is gone. Now they will have to expose. So Siva, as we have been discussing the trends hitherto, what is happening is that every company is becoming an IT company in the business of X. So, but amongst them also, research firms like Gartner or Forrester have told that banking, retail, telecom and media are supposed to be at the forefront of continuous technology evolution as it takes place. Banking and media, because most of these companies can be done on the, companies can do others' business. So what are you seeing as the major trends in the banking and financial sector which are likely to come?
Okay. So I just want to keep an analogy back to you guys based on the industries which Sir has said. So suppose if finance and telecom are parents, who are the children? Who can be the son and who can be the daughter? Any guesses? Or maybe digital, I'll make it much more simpler. Digital and telecom are parents. The son who shouts is the voice, and the daughter who texts is the chatbot. So I'll just take it from that same analogy and tell you, voice bot and voice blast has become one of the crucial trend across the industries, especially even in the banking and finance as well, because that makes the tailor-made customization and personalization for the people without compromising on the any regulations. So even the business pumps up, things go a little faster, quick, that is quick, and efficiency is there. That's with the voice bot. And same goes for the voice blast as well. It's used across all the use cases of from, customer acquisition, lead conversion, to customer service, to offering a cross-sell or upsell as well. We personally in FedFina have used the voice bot for the top-up as well as the business loan customer acquisition as the use cases. Now coming to the chatbot, we know the trend of ChatGPT which is flowing in at this point of time. If I would just want to compare with another analogy. If ChatGPT has an avatar who sits before you, I'm not gender agnostic, but based on the conversations which you do with ChatGPT, I'm sure, because it will solve your emotional advice to personal financial advisors till the entire end of spectrum, it would get a lot of roses on the Valentine's Day. So the way you ask ChatGPT also is also more important. There is a framework of, you ask ChatGPT with care. So C stands for the character. You would tell what kind of person you are. Maybe you want to say you're a marketing professional as such. A stands for the achievement. Basically what is that you are, maybe you're a 10-year professional, you are looking for something of that sort. R stands for the response, what kind of response you are expecting, and E stands for the example. You would tune it in such a manner and you ask the question, trust me, the chatbot will give you the answer in the way it is needed. I have personally seen in my company, people using chatbot to write the mails also. I was surprised when one of the developer has written a mail and it was so much classic. I called him and asked, how are you able to write this mail? He said, I use ChatGPT. Oh man. Then there is people who are running the digital marketing campaigns, the creative liners via ChatGPT. So just imagine where the trend is going on. And this is agnostic of industries, but it is definitely true for finance as well. Now there are a couple of 3 more points which I would tell. AI and ML we are also using for the credit underwriting use cases as well as the collection allocation methodology based on the vintage analysis. Blockchain we don't use it, but blockchain can, in my understanding, blockchain can be used for identity detection, so people doesn't fraud it because it goes chain by chain, and for the transactions. And payments have been, like Mahapatra said, that payments have been the trend which has been going on, and we have encouraged it, all of us have encouraged it, and now it has become part of it actually in our wings as well.
Thank you, very interesting things. Coming back to you, Anil, I always believe that the ones when they fly in the sky and forget the first principles are always doomed to be in grief. So the first principle of digital has always been productivity in any sector. To do more, faster, more accurately. So productivity being the first principle of enterprises, how do you see digital transformation supporting productivity?
Well, productivity is a very, very basic things for any digitization because it's a primary driver to digital transformation. The reason being is that the digitization brings the automations. Automations helps to free up, let's say, employees' time, okay, and the employee as a human mind can think more creative, more strategic solutions, build something new, okay, focus areas which can even further optimize, okay. So automation is one of the key tasks, as you say, part of the digital transformations happening right from the there's a routine works which employees does, okay, like clerical work where they set up task defined, so you can have a RPA which is robotic process automations or bots as my friend was mentioning, right? Those activities can be easily automated out and routine things can be set up, okay. Other areas, if you look at is the process efficiencies front, okay, which digitization is bringing out in terms of how the processes can be efficiently done. Okay, for giving a simple example, as when I was in NSDL, right, onboarding a customer into the system to create a demat account so that he can trade. Okay, typically how much time it is supposed to take, okay? It used to take 3 days, 6 days, 7 days earlier, okay? Now if you look at, it is instant, I would rather suggest, okay? You can go in the apps, there are lots of brokers, okay? We have completely automated on mobile, I don't want to name it. You can open a DMAT account, do your eKYC on fly, okay? So you can able to trade it very next moment, okay? So the process efficiency is also driving another area of productivity. Third thing I look at is if you look at the accuracy of the data, humans do make mistakes and the error do happen, okay? But digitization avoids those to help put the processes or put the task more efficient, more accurate in terms of computations. So look at, for example, in the exchanges where I operate and work, okay? The things happen in, let's say, algorithmic trading, as you in the morning saw, what are the dynamics happening in the morning, like key drivers for stock exchanges, okay? So high frequency trading, algorithmic tradings, okay, keep on happening, and the settlement time is very, very, need to be very, very accurately computed out. So accuracy is very, very important. So automation, efficiency, and accuracy is helping the productivity, and that is how I see that this is driving out the productivity.
No, thank you. True. As we, I think, I wanted to have one more round because it is getting interesting, but in the interest of time, I'll go through the last wrap-up round. But coming back to your thing, and this is a thought trigger that I leave with all of you, as well as my panelists. There are clear and distinct areas of dark spots that are emerging in the digital transformation arena. There has been oversaturation on payment space, on onboarding space, on KYC space, on lending origination, loan origination space. But in the collection space, 85,000 crore industry, hardly any innovation, hardly any fintech. Again, you go back to fully manual mode on managing bad loans. On managing misbehavior, hardly anything. So I leave you with that, but I'll go for a final round with my co-panelists. I will start with you, Ayaskant. And Ayaskant, if you can sum up your thoughts on digital transformation with specific emphasis on importance of data.
Yeah, I'll say what we all talk about, your ChatGPT, AI, ML, and all these things, all is backed by data, right? I'll give a little kind of mythological way on this side. We always know what does the astrologer mean, right? When you go to astrologer, you feel very happy that when he says that if your future looks very bright, you will do so many things on this side. What is that basically? It's all AI. He has seen similar kind of thing. He asked what is your date of birth, sun sign, moon sign, all these things. He put it to similar nature of people do this and looks like this, and we feel very happy on this side. So data is the similar way. The data teaches you two things. What you have done in past, whether it's a good or bad, whatever. And with that same good or bad experience, you need to plan for your future. So the two aspects, very important for that one. What you have done so that you know exactly what has been gone wrong and take a course correction immediately so that your future is good on the side and the bright part of it. And this data give you an insight where we should focus, where you should not, or where the focus to be driven on which angle on this side. All this designing digital, whatever you are happening on this side is based on that model. I personally believe on that data. Various platforms now are available. You can use Hadoop was one of the things, BigQuery. I'm using BigQuery, that's why I'm saying that in thing. Big data also I have used on this side. So what we basically see is all these platforms are available, but the more intelligent lies what your data models are there and how do you want to see your data. Data has various aspects. If you say I want to see how many volumes happens, you can see it. The more you nurture the data, more insight you will get it, and that is going to definitely help your digital journey and digital transformation on this side. As you say example on this side, now what you are trying to do, the platform, everything is ready. Now what I see on this side, now you have to define the product. Their data is going to help you to define your product and the strategy for next digital transformation or the business transformation, what you want to do that. So that's important, the data is.
Thank you. Ashok, your concluding thoughts, put an emphasis on cloud.
Yeah. So as per, I mean currently most of the NBFCs which has, initiated their journeys 10 years back, they are in a process of upgrading their core application as well as moving to cloud, because many of these application service providers or applications are not cloud compatible. So many of the NBFCs are upgrading to latest versions which are microservices or API enabled, as well as moving their entire IT infra as well as applications, key applications on cloud. I personally feel over a period of time, apart from these API aggregators which are available in the market, the way we used to earlier deploy the code etc. via on-prem, that is now already got changed with DevSecOps coming in. But at the same time, many of these services you may know, like Amazon's or AWS and Azure, they may start offering many of these lending or other services. In a SaaS model kind of a stuff, which may come. Apart from that, generative AI, once we have digitalized and gone on cloud, the generative AI may also help us to do many of our tasks which we are currently doing by taking data from APIs etc. Or it may start suggesting to the maker or checker that this is the trend, whether you want to proceed. This will come. The other important aspect for the industry to be looked at is currently most of the workforce which you are having needs to be reskilled, or they need to be again trained on this entire cloud as well as the new technologies which are coming up in the market. So it is it is a continuous journey in itself, Mr. Mahapatra and everyone. That is what my take is.
Thank you. Anil, your final thoughts. Please put an emphasis on the new age terms like agility, open source, and how we collaborate. Yeah.
So starting with the open source, I feel, this is my personal opinion, that is free up from the locking to any vendor. Okay, but it does require your own in-house competencies to build and top up it and customize it. You cannot leave it to the open source developers fully. Okay, because if they stop developing and further enhancement, you will be vulnerable to all kinds of attacks. Okay. Agility is very basic in every organizations or any development, because you need to make your deliverable faster to the market. Okay, so you have to split into sprints or iterative cycles of development so that you can bring more agility in terms of deploying the solutions and getting some value adds. Okay. The new technology, as we keep on talking out, the AI, ML, blockchains, IoT, okay, cloud computing is happening, and we all have some or the other way are not untouched. Okay. So we have to get more inside it, okay, and start leveraging it because they are the future's digital transformation journey. So that's my take, sir.
Thank you. Siva, the final word to you. You know, in our childhood, we used to say, if there is unlimited time and there is no boundaries, football game could have been so interesting. So, but unfortunately, there is 90-minute time, and the moment you put the ball outside of the boundary, referee blows the whistle. So the regulators and the policy makers who set the boundary conditions often define what we can do, what we cannot do. What is your take on the direction of regulation?
The way you pick the analogy, I think regulators are needed exactly in the same manner. If there is no referee, we would not be able to play properly. I mean, everyone will play in chaos, right? Similarly, regulator or policy makers, is another analogy I can put it out is the car brakes. While digital transformation, agility, and newest technologies are accelerator for the car, you need the brake. Without the brake, you can't drive it fast. You will be scared actually to drive it faster. And most of the times when we buy the cars, along more than the BHP or something, we see the safety things. So regulators would set it up straight, smooth, make it open place for everyone, In fact, along with that, once they feel that most of the market has taken it up, they will make it standards. So now they made this Aadhaar masking, Aadhaar vault as a standard, right? Just imagine you have signed Aadhaar, you have signed it on your Aadhaar Xerox and it is lying somewhere in the godown, versus your Aadhaar number being stored in the vault, which is encrypted, which is masked, and then it is stored in the vault. So which is secure. So the policy makers as well, regulators, if you have to see on the other side of the coin, they do ensure and push the digital transformation, making the open fair play, so that they doesn't even sometimes ensure that it is not biased, and monopoly also they would take care of that as well.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what myself and my co-panelists have to offer. I thank my co-panelists.